The time to document your life is when it sucks, not when it's great. It's the times you're sleeping on the floor. It's the time the person walks out and you miss the 7th sale that day. It's the time when your bank account's at its absolute lowest. It's when your car breaks down on the side of the road and you're like, what am I gonna do now? I can barely afford this, right? Those are the moments, the ones that you want to ignore, the ones that you want to look away from, that are the ones that you need to capture, because those are the moments that you will tell in the future of things you got through. Because no heroes are heroes without epic monsters. And the bigger the monster, the greater the hero.
As Alex has said there, the time to document everything is when it's shit. I've said it in other videos, but I'm going to reiterate it here. What's been happening recently? I had to step back from the photography business, which is tough in itself because that's the thing I built. I've lost my passion for it. I lost my drive and my ambition and my want to progress and do more with it. The only thing that it's got now is the fact that if I meet up with people that come and do photo shoots, is where I can actually effectively do a sales pitch for the Leader Leverage program whilst on a photo shoot and give them content for it, because obviously I then can explain the rest of it. But at the moment, photo shoots just feel like a drain of my time. They're not what I want to be doing, and I feel like I'm stepping backwards. The Identity Unlock, where we built it into a personal development brand, worked, but at the same time, it's not what it used to be. It's not what I started it out as, because it had to evolve, because I genuinely didn't get the response and what I needed out of it. And also for a lot of this, it went down a path where I liked it and I liked what was happening with it. And the Identity Unlock had to evolve. We built it last year and it worked really well. And the initial start of it was phenomenal, and we got loads of people on board, moving forward, doing bigger and better things. But the actual core of what we were doing wasn't aligned with what I thought it needed and what I believed it was going to be. Although we were still giving a lot of the same advice, it was actually just, we needed a bigger mission behind it. We needed more substance to it. And this is why we're growing this thing, because now I've evolved as a person, I've grown, and that's why we're obviously creating the Leader Leverage program. Personally, I've had a rough time, like having the business drop financially and nigh on lose most of my clients. I'm down to the lowest client numbers I've ever had, the lowest income I've ever had. And I can tell you, from going from 2 multiple 6-figure businesses to really scaling everything back, I'm having to put a lot of faith and hope and belief into myself. I'm pretty sure I've got 2 front tire punctures from a pothole that's just around the corner from here. Personally, we've had house issues. I've had relationship issues. Dylan cracked his head open. Lila's, she's still a little baby, so obviously there's a lot of stuff going on with them, and just trying to be a parent, trying to learn how to manage having effectively transitioning from 2 businesses into one, combine all of it, make it work, have all of the costs of the overheads that I've got to deal with, financial stresses. The house, like I said, we've had problems with. Personally, I've had just issues that just misalignment and poor communication, and just figuring out stuff. As you grow and evolve as a person, you have children, your life changes. All of a sudden, the things that you used to do and the things you used to like become more difficult. You have to be very clear and intentional. Your communication has to be phenomenal. You have to, I'd say this to any parent or any wannabe parent for the future. If you have demons in here, if you have anything that holds you back, you need to deal with it before you have kids, because I promise you it will punch you in the face harder than you want it to. And then you've got to deal with it, because you've also got the pressure of kids, house, business, and then you just got to deal with your personal stuff. So that's why I say to a lot of people, and I can see why parents go down like rocky paths, is because if you haven't dealt with your problems, you haven't faced your demons, it's going to come up and bite you in the arse. I then also just had many, and from learning and evolving, I know I can help people. I've got a lot of passion for it. A coaching process is something that's very new to me. With the photo shoots, you come in, did the photos, I edit them, I don't see you again for 3 months. With a coaching process, it's different. You have to be showing up regularly. You have to be providing value all the time. And it's just a different service to what I'm used to. It's not that I can't, but it's also part of the lessons of, as you grow and evolve things, sometimes you just get your head down in business, and then you're going to screw up in client retention. You're going to screw up in marketing. You're going to screw up in somewhere else. These are all part of the learning curve of then, okay, how do I fit this in here to make sure I don't lose this, but at the same time I can do this and this? This is part of the learning curve of growing and evolving as a person. And personally, I'm one of these people, I really get invested into things. I get really personally invested into people's mission and their journey, making sure they're okay. And if I don't provide the value on that, if I don't keep moving them forward, if I don't keep setting them new goals and pushing them forward and growing, then they're going to drop off or they're going to leave because they're going to just look for the next thing that's going to give them what they need. So there's been so many lessons going on. And like I said, I've had 4 parking tickets coming out of nowhere. The tyres on the car were just frustrating. Issues with the leak in the roof of my gym, you know, which is then just meaning some of my equipment's getting damaged and it's just not looking as good as what it did. Just family issues. Unfortunately, we've got 2 family members that are incredibly ill. And, you know, it means that, you know, emotions are all over the place and people supporting them and having to support them. There's just a hell of a lot of stuff going on. But the whole point of this is all of this stuff is happening. Like I said, the business isn't great. The house isn't good. The relationship's getting better, but it's not been great. Having 2 children is difficult. It's tiring. And, you know, sometimes I'm not getting the best amount of time with them, which then makes me feel like a shit parent and it's not a good enough dad. And then basically having like a personal life has just disappeared, you know, because I'm just so busy trying to evolve all these things. I don't really get a break. And I've had a couple of opportunities for them and they've just disappeared. And this is where I'm having to be even stronger willed about what I'm doing and actually more intentional, because if I don't get any of that downtime, I'm just going to burn myself out. However, I'm in this place where at the moment, this is the challenge that I've got. I've got the children I want to provide for. I've got my wife I want to provide for. I've got the business that I want to provide to all my clients for, to give them the best results. And it's forcing me to swallow that hard pill. I genuinely fought for a little bit of, you know, and this was probably a month or 2, I was suffering with depression. I was really suffering with I couldn't see positives. I couldn't move forward. I just kept feeling like I was draining and I was drowning in just a sea of I just couldn't get out of. It was only when I started to realize that actually this is my subconscious telling me that I'm underperforming, I'm not giving myself what I need, and I'm allowing my standards to drop. I'm allowing myself to be less than what I think I'm capable of, and I was making poor decisions. I wasn't actually showing up for myself as the person that I needed. And so what I'm trying to say to you in this message is, if you're not feeling great about things, if you're going through a hard time in your business, if you're trying to grow and evolve, you're trying to build a brand, you're trying to become someone that you're not and you haven't been before, and you know that this is something you're passionate about, these are all parts of the message. And like Alex was saying, they're part of the hero journey. And the reason why I've shared this today is because in a couple of months when I actually post this video, like the date today is, I have no idea, the 9th of May, right? I want to turn this business around. I've got bills over my head. I need to pay the cost of everything. I need to obviously keep the kids safe, get us on holiday. Like, I need to provide and do all of these things. And the reason why I'm sharing this video today, because I know how hard it is, and I know I can look back at this video once I get the success and once I build the business into what I want, to look back and remember that I was going through all of this stuff and how hard it was. And it's a memory of, if I can go through that and achieve this, you're capable of it too, because there is nothing, and I mean nothing, special about me. I'm just a man who wants to wake up, show up for his family, produce for his clients, support people, grow, see what I'm capable of achieving. And I'm just the same as you. I go to the gym, I eat food, I wake up, I live life. And if I'm capable of getting through this, and this video is hopefully going to be a testament to me, actually, I've achieved it and I'm now sharing this video, is because that I've gone through the hard stuff, I've pushed through it, I've been able to get to the other side of it. It has been tough. I've lost so many hours sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night questioning things, panicking about whether I'm doing good enough. Like, am I actually going to fail with all of these things? But actually, that's the beauty in all of this, is that because there is so much risk involved, the reward is so much greater than just being employed and just turning up and effectively having very little responsibility in terms of the bigger picture. I'm not saying when you go to work that you don't have to provide for your kids and support, but I don't want the easy path in that and live a life of less than what I think I'm capable of, over the fact of, okay, this is a hard time, but this is a part of testing my character and seeing what I'm capable of achieving, not sitting back and moaning about the fact that this has been difficult. So this is a real raw, honest, open video from the fact that, yes, I have actually been struggling. I have been going through a tough time. Evolving the business and growing has been difficult. But the whole point of sharing this and hopefully being able to be vulnerable enough to say, you know what, I've struggled, and at times I've often felt to myself that my emotions are just irrelevant, you know, and as a man, I think sometimes you actually do need to push yourself through that because it helps. But at the same time, it's then learning ways to cope with it and deal with it better instead of just getting frustrated and angry. And also, just don't let your standards down. I think that's the biggest thing that you could take away from this, is that I've done that a couple of times and it's not good at all. When I let that drop, everything else around me plummets. And it's an important message to realize, yes, we have got a pressure on ourselves, but pressure is a privilege. It is one of those things that if you don't have pressure upon you, you're not doing anything. So I hope this has given you some value. I hope this is showing you a lesson that even the best of us go through tough times. And I'm sharing this because if you're struggling today, you might be 3 months, you might be 6 months, you might be a year away from living a drastically different life. So I hope this video has helped you today. If you want to hit that subscribe button, it means the world to me that I can share more videos with you. But just don't give up on yourself. I just want to leave it with that. You've got every capability of turning your life into something phenomenal. I truly believe that with the vision and mission that I've got for myself, that I can do bigger and better things, and you're capable too. And if you are struggling, please feel free to reach out. I'm always there to lend a bit of a hand. And if I can give you a straight path and a guidance to things, it would be my pleasure to help, because I know how tough this time is.